Good morning. So today we are going to learn about the legend of the Trojan horse. So the Trojan horse is something that we still hear a little bit about today, and it's when you want to fool somebody or pull like an April Fool's prank like we had yesterday. But this was no prank. This was for real. So a long time ago, in the coast of Asia, across from the Sea of Greek, there was a city called Sparta. And in those days, people used to build walls around their cities. And the walls were really high. I'm going to show you. Here's our wall of the city. And it was really high. And the people would protect their cities with these high walls. Now, in the times of war, the gates would be closed and locked so intruders couldn't get inside. Now, the Trojans and the people of Troy, the walls were very high and really strong. And according to legend of the Trojan horse, the Greeks and the Spartans battled for 10 long years. So if you started battling today and you're 9, how old would you be when you stopped battling for 10 years? Oh my gosh, you would be 19 years old. You'd be able to drive, you'd be in college, and that's a long time to have a war. So they had this really long war, and the Greeks kept trying to get over the wall, but they couldn't. The wall was so impenetrable, and the Trojans were always like, you can't get through here, or the people of Troy were like, you can't ever climb our wall. And so then there was this really smart Greek general named Odysseus, and he had a very tricky idea. He was going to be totally sus. So he said, let's pretend to sail away and we'll leave a gift for Troy. Because back in that day, when you admitted defeat of a battle, or like you said, I give up, white flag, you left them a gift. And so he said, let's leave them a gift of this giant wooden horse that we built. And it will be our gift of saying defeat. However, here's where it gets amazingly tricky. Instead of leaving it as a gift and pretending to sail away, let's put 30 of our men inside the big wooden horse. And when they take it inside the gates of Troy and they celebrate, once they go to bed, our men will climb out of the horse and go in, are already in the city, and they will unlock the gates so that we can get in and defeat them. Now, the Greeks thought this was a brilliant idea. They're like, man, no cap, you got this. And we're going to throw them some real shade by going in as a Trojan horse. So they low-key built this big wooden horse. And once it was built, they put it out in front of the gates of Troy. So here's our horse. Now all of these people pretended to go and hide and sail away. But they stuck 30 people in this giant horse right here. And they left the horse outside of the gates of Troy. And when they did, the Greeks brought it really close. And when they did, the people of Troy dragged the horse into their city. They opened the gates and they dragged the horse into the city. And once the horse was in the city, they couldn't believe it. They were like, they're giving up? So they had the horse inside. And some people inside there thought, well, we should destroy this horse because we fought them for so long that we don't need their horse. What are we going to do with it? It's good wood. Let's burn it. But the rest of the people said, no, it's too beautiful. Let's keep it forever as a reminder that we have victory for our city. We're the goat of the time and nobody's going to mess with Troy ever again. Well, the Greeks were hoping for that reaction because they were hidden inside. Now, can you imagine if the people had said, let's burn it? They would have burned all those people inside. However, they won out by saying, nope, we're going to keep it as a souvenir. So the Trojans were famous for their bragging and throwing shade around. That night, while the Trojan people slept soundly, exhausted from their celebration of winning this 10-year war, the 30 Greek men inside climbed out of the wooden horse and opened the gates of Troy. And when they opened the gates of Troy, all of the generals and his fighters came inside to fight the battle. And guess what happened? They invaded Troy, and that was the end of the war. So when you hear something about someone having a Trojan horse, it means that they're trying to totally fake you out. They are doing something really sus, and you should be wary.